So I told y'all my Ouija board stories. There's still more to it, but I'm gonna leave those for another time. But now I'm gonna tell you a crazy ghost story that I had. Now in my life, I've seen all kinds of crazy shit. I think I've seen an alien before, well, a UFO. I've had so many different experiences with seeing ghosts. From a kid all the way up to, not that long ago. But anyways, I'm gonna take you back to when I was 13, maybe 14. So as a teenager, me and my homeboys, we did a lot of dumb, wild shit. And it was fun at the time, but still it was dumb and wild, right? So one of my homeboys, he had this van, and he would always pick all of us up in it, and he would pick up the homegirls in it. So we'd all be deep in this van. But one day he picks me up, and everyone's already in it. And he tells us, hey, we're gonna go to this abandoned hospital. I wanna go see what we find in there. And me, I was like, fuck, I don't wanna go in no damn abandoned hospital, but I'm like, fuck it, let's go. We pull up to the hospital. The outside of it already looked creepy as fuck. The first thing I thought is, oh, we're definitely gonna see some ghosts in that bitch. The name of the hospital is Jefferson Davis Hospital. You could just tell it was like a really old hospital. You know that shit's haunted. Just from the outside appearance, I was already thinking like, damn, this place looks scary as fuck. It's definitely haunted. There's no way we're gonna get up there and not see something. Just the whole outside, it looked like a scary movie scenery. But this hospital, it had a fence that goes all the way around it. So from the outside of the fence, we get out from the van. All the girls are scared, but they don't want to be left in the van by themselves. So we go, it's like 10 of us maybe. We get to the fence, but when we're waiting to go in through the fence, I remember looking up at the front of this hospital, and it was like a really old hospital, and it had like a big door opening, but it was like maybe 2 doors that were like that opened up, but only one of them was there, and it looked like the other one was open. But when I looked, I seen something at the front of that door. And at first I thought it was just like a normal person, but I couldn't see like from the legs down. I could just see from like stomach up, but it just looked like someone from like way back then. It looked really creepy as fuck. And I remember telling them, hey, look, there's somebody standing at the door. So we're thinking maybe it's a homeless person. We got pretty close to it, and it was like the person that we seen there disappeared. It was like vapor. You could see it, and then it just slowly disappears and is gone. And we all looked at each other like, what the fuck? We get all the way up to the door, and it was like half the door was open. But when we looked down the hallway, we kept hearing stuff and we kept seeing stuff, but nobody wanted to go in. After being there for a little while, we heard something in there. It sounded like a little girl, but like singing or something. We couldn't make out like if it was in English or another language. We didn't know, but it just sounded really scary as fuck. And we finally were just like, fuck it, let's get out of here. We got there maybe like 10:30, 11 o'clock. And I remember we left there about 11:30, maybe 12. But we start walking down. We get to the van. One person that was in the van was like, look, it's back there. We looked back, and that silhouette, that ghost, whatever it was that we seen, was back at the front door. And I remember everyone was just like shitting bricks. We're all like, what the fuck? Like, we couldn't believe that shit. I told that story several times, and I even commented on a Houston Post that once had the hospital showing on it. A lot of people said they seen something out there, and even all the way inside, because there was other times we went actually went through it. It was so dark. We had flashlights, but even with the flashlights, at certain parts you couldn't see nothing. I remember one time going in there, and they still had hospital beds, like the old rolling hospital beds. They still had shit that was left in there. I guess when it closed down, they left everything in there, but they didn't take nothing out. Over time, you would think that they'd go and clear it out, but they didn't. There was still a lot of stuff in there. There wasn't like medicine or nothing, but I just seen like hospital beds. I seen like, the gowns you wear whenever you're in the hospital. In the basement, there was still stuff. I want to say there was still like an old ambulance in there. I remember I went a few more times throughout the year, and over time, we would just go there randomly just to go chill. And I remember after going there, a couple days later, I'm talking with my mom, and I didn't tell her that I went, but I told her, hey, some of my friends, went to this place that it was like an old abandoned hospital called Jefferson Davis Hospital, and they said they seen stuff there. And she told me, what? That's crazy. That's the hospital you were born in. So I was like, what the fuck? But what's crazy about that hospital is years and years later, because I was a teenager at that time, I want to say like a couple years ago, they just turned it into like loft apartments or something. So if anyone lives in the loft apartments that used to be Jefferson Davis Hospital, comment and let us know if y'all ever hear anything or see anything while you've been living there or used to live there. I want to hear some stories to see if people still hear or see anything there. The last time I saw it, it looked really nice. It looked like they fixed it up really good. Have you ever seen a ghost?